Your LARP is no longer live.
Okay.
I think we're live again.
Are we?
Hooray!
Whoa.
We've not broken anything. Sorry about that.
No, we've always been on, right?
We had to unplug it and plug it back in again and hope for the best. My apologies for the tech issues.
They missed all that amazing roleplay that we just did. You know?
Yeah, it was incredible, guys.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we'll be
can't
able to
believe
do
that we
as
killed the
good
entire
ever
party.
again.
Yeah. So, where were we? Oh, yes. There's a very small
Thing.
2 foot
Horrible.
Hessia. Very small 2 foot man.
Trying to get us up on
Do you want to announce your thing to the class?
Hopefully the mics are synced now with a little bit of luck. We shall see. I'm sure Oz will let us know. Otherwise, we're just going to have sound behind, which is a little bit irritating. We can sort it later or for next time.
People don't need to watch us, they can just listen.
Hey, the mic's synced.
Hooray.
So unplugging everything,
That's
restarting the laptop and plugging it all back in again is clearly the answer to whatever the question is. Right, let's do this. So what you say is what you say. Oh, so first, could everyone just give me a brief description of what you look like? Because it has been a while from my memory. So the scene is, you've got this very tall leather waistcoat, black undershirt. Probably hasn't been washed that recently, but smart. Looks after himself. Bit of a longish, black, straggly beard. 30s to 40s, muscular face. This is a working man.
Muscular face.
Yeah.
With his chin.
He's
like
not
lip
got
curls.
the sort of beard like Gabriel here for the ladies. It's more of a kind of a working man's beard.
Right. What are you trying to say, Adam?
He stands maybe 6'2",
Gabriel is
6'3".
attractive man.
Shirt open and quite low. Bit of chest hair coming out. He looks a bit more tanned than some of the people you've met in Barovia. So from that, you would probably glean that he does travel. His brother, a little bit different. Black hair and a side parting a little bit longer. A goatee coming down to a slight point, but not that defined. A little bit rough. Still, you can see his knuckles. He's clearly been in a fist fight recently.
Is that one Aragorn?
It is indeed Aragorn.
They were beating up the caretaker of the girl.
Yeah.
His daughter is not with him at the moment. And he's wearing kind of like a white shirt with the classic kind of Slavic pattern along the top with the black triangles and a green long overcoat. They both stand there. If we start with Red.
So, standing at about 3 foot tall, halfling, very slightly less scraggly hair now. Someone took a brush to it. Very dark hair that's sort of been braided up now. Quite pale, quite lithe. So she's skinny, but she's not weak looking. She's been quite muscly. Lots of sort of bits and bobs, bits of furs and leathers sort of strapped to her, tied to her. Very pale blue eyes, and a very shocking red cape tied around her shoulders. And Son's animal companion.
You do have also with you Irina.
Oh, yeah.
Standing towards the edge of the encampment. They haven't come to the centre where you are. She stands with this long auburn hair. Wearing...
We left Irene at the house.
Or did you leave her at the house?
No, she was there.
No, you brought her with. You brought her with us. Yeah.
The girl kept trying to hold her hands.
Oh, yeah.
Away.
This girl next door looked to her. Not kind of like Hollywood pretty, not that look, but a natural. Yeah. Quite striking eyes, high cheekbones, long auburn hair, and a very similar style to Red at the moment, just nicer. Also, with her looking wary, is Ismark. He's got these streaks of grey in his hair, a worried expression on his face. He doesn't look particularly happy to be here. Quite well dressed, doesn't hold himself particularly well with his frame. Shoulders slouched over a little bit, looking forward, hands sort of clasped in front of him. Both of them are armed, but both currently sheathed. Okay. Jakul.
I am a 6.5 foot silver dragonborn. I have smooth and sleek silver scales. I have like an amazingly perfect symmetry to my features that kind of like really catch the eye.
So dreamy.
I have these frosty light blue eyes as well that kind of like give you a chilled look and kind of quite catching, right? In a strange way, but yes. That's my look.
Hessia, if you would be so kind.
Hessia is a 5 foot tiefling, very messy dark hair, dark red coppery skin, long sort of tail that's always swishing about all over the place, dressed quite plainly, just sort of in plain black clothes. And a recent new addition is a pair of lovely gills on each side of her neck.
Perfect. I know you often have a hood. Is it up or is it down?
Yeah, it's more like a scarf.
A scarf, sorry, yes.
That would no, she that's not there at the moment because she was gilling in the previous.
Yes.
Successfully
Successfully, well, semi-successfully, she helped.
It was a great help, I'm sure.
You're a good distraction for any other crocodiles there would have been.
Constance, if you would be so kind.
Constance is a 6'2" half orc with rippling muscles. Around about 18 stone. She is a brick shit house. Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, why not?
Like now.
Good.
I hope so. I swear like you, let us know in chat if you don't want us to.
If you're terribly offended, I'm so sorry. She wears a chainmail with a tabard over the top with the symbol of the Church of Tyr, which is the scales of justice on top of a warhammer. And she wears a wimple covering whatever hair she may have, and she has sort of greenish grey skin.
And last but definitely not least,
Gabriel stands about 5'8". His hair is oddly a bit shorter now, and his beard has gone a wonderful auburn brown, and his eyes are green.
Ooh, lovely. Has he got a hat?
No.
Armour?
Armour, he's wearing like a leather coat and leather Under Armour, basically.
Okay.
Looks very travelling.
So this small automaton had cartwheeled into a handspring, down low, jazz handings towards you, basks in the applause that he gets. And flashes a peculiar smile at you.
What is?
Like I said, your problem now.
No, what?
Your
No. What?
now.
Problem?
I cast Divine Sense.
Of course you do.
Sorry?
On
that little dude.
Little dude.
So you focus.
Does it have a soul?
No, you don't get evil coming from him at all.
When we become super famous and there's merchandise, I cast Divine Sense is going to be on the t-shirts.
And it'll be, I wanted to ride the crocodile.
Oh, can we take that small child with us everywhere we go? She is the best.
Yes.
Red sort of tugs on Constance something, I don't know, just whatever bit of clothing is loose and sort of...
As you do that, the small automaton comes over towards you and beautifully mimics exactly the same, but towards you.
No.
Like the posture, the stance, everything. As you kind of, it comes up to you and.
We should have got the throne.
How would we have carried the throne?
Easily.
I would have carried the throne.
Yes.
No.
Like I said, one choice. The rug is yours, and as is...
Does it have a name?
Doesn't talk.
Good.
Perfect.
Will it follow us?
The large man, Lavash, kind of looks down at it. You. Go with these ones now.
Bad.
It gives a very low, theatrical bow.
How tall is it?
Like 2 foot.
Oh, it's not much shorter. You can't ship the halfling with the automated gesture.
Gross.
So, will you be returning to us this evening?
Yeah, we just got a few things to do in town.
Yes. And then we'll be coming
Points
back
down.
to see our friend.
Our friend.
As a surprise, of course. Yeah.
I'm sure they will be back. I'm very relieved to know that Aragorn's lovely daughter has been found.
But remember, don't tell Daramir that we're coming.
It's a
We want to be a
surprise.
surprise. Yeah.
Let's roll up this carpet and let's go.
Yeah, we've got a carpet.
All
Yay!
right, let's go.
Very nice
Yeah.
car.
He's going to carry the rug.
Does this thing follow orders? You did just order it.
You've got the carpet if it doesn't.
That's true. I'm just wondering how reliable it is.
I'm
Way
going
to find
to
out.
put my hand on the back of the jester and start walking towards town. Does it come easily?
Gladly with you.
Sweet.
It looks up to you, and as it does a couple more little cartwheels and things like that as you begin to walk out.
Awesome.
So what is it?
I do not know. Bear with me. I have to hold it for a minute.
Wasn't there a toy maker?
Is this-
We give it to him.
Is it classed as an object or is it classed as a creature?
Are you going to try and do identify?
Identify on it. You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. So a minute.
Okay, I'll give you some information from that, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. As you begin to head away,
Yep.
so yeah, sort of heading down from this natural hill, smoke coming up from these number of small houses, each one with a cloaked figure outside. The small girl, Arabella, gives you a big wave to wave back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just a wave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He definitely.
Wait.
A wave and a bow from him, definitely. As you begin to make your way down the kind of winding path, Casimir, the elf you met very briefly, gives you a nod and a bow, and each of you a prolonged look, whether he's sizing you up or trying to glean some information about you. It's a prolonged 10-15 second stare
Okay.
at each of you. You make your way round. It's probably about 12:30. You've had quite a hectic morning. Breakfast felt like quite a while ago. Those who went for a swim, the chill of the water went through you. Probably not so much for you,
It was a
Red.
crocodile.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't feel it, but
I helped.
Hesia, although you were able to breathe in the water and help, you weren't. They gave you no protection from the cold.
Yeah.
Chilly.
The walk round, you can see in the distance coming up Vallaki, this walled town. Again, think Roman fort, just sharpened logs all the way around this entire town. It doesn't take you long to reach the perimeter wall from it, but you're going to have to walk around the town and then get to the entrance.
Okay. We go towards the closest gate then, I guess. Yeah.
Again, you can see various guards walking on this raised platform on the inside, who will give you looks, seeing you outside.
What's the information we got from the thingy?
From my identifier.
Fantastic. So, as you hold on to this automation...
I'll just like hold its hand or whatever.
Automaton.
So creepy.
So, this is an effigy. So this has been built as it's a construct, but it is an effigy of somebody. And from doing identify on it, you know it's an effigy of someone called Piddlewick.
Piddlewick.
Yep.
I don't like the sound of Piddlewick.
I feel like
Would I actually get that from my identifier? That would be named Piddlewick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Am I carrying the carpet?
No,
carrying the
Jacora's
carpet?
carrying it. Because it's pretty.
It's
beautiful.
clean, right?
Well, it is after you've done it, morning.
I'm cleaning it before I put it on my shoulder.
Before we go through the gates, I will put Piddlewick in my bag.
How deep is your bag?
Piddlewick doesn't need to go in a bag.
2 foot of bag.
You could fit him in a rucksack.
He's an effigy construct. It'll be fine.
They already didn't like that we were
Happy?
not
Look how
smiling
happy
enough.
it is. Look how smiley it is.
All right.
Is it smiling?
Are you... So in character you're saying you're planning to put it in the bag, aren't you?
Yes.
He kind of looks to you. And then his head drops down. The arms do as well.
You've upset Piddlewick.
The head comes at an angle. You can hear like a squeak of gears from within as his eyes change shape slightly.
This thing is dope.
I still hate it.
I stick it in the bag with its head sticking out the top. And draw the drawstring around the neck and tie it off. And then put the flap down on top of the head.
Brilliant.
Poor Piddlewick.
Oh, jeez.
As you start making your way around, you hear disruption. You hear some guards shouting out, "Quick, shut the gate! Lock the gate! Lock the gate!" And a shout, a call for alert, as you hear the...
Great.
You're coming round the side of the wall. Can everyone give me a perception, please?
That was not good. No.
9.
5.
Also 5.
20.
6.
Hey!
Someone was paying attention.
They was paying attention. We were too busy watching her put
Yeah.
the gesturing bag.
It's because if Eric is on my shoulder, I get +3 to my...
Nice.
Always alert, always aware.
Yeah.
Not distracted, watching this half-orc paladin stuff this automation as it's trying not to be put into a bag. You hear it and react very quickly. You look up. You can't see anything, but you can hear it.
What do I hear?
It's kind of like the sound of dirt being pulled. That kind of, as if something's being...
What, like a plough?
As if something's being dragged, not cut through the ground, but being dragged, but multiple of them.
Sharp. Something
So
actually
you're walking along this wall, and where it kind of cuts to the corner, then the gate will be here. So you guys are kind of walking towards, then you'd have to do a hard left, and then that's where the gate would be.
Shh. Something's around that corner. Okay. It sounds like multiple items are being dragged. So I guess we can go up to the side of the
I'm
wall.
little, so I'm going to just go to the corner of the wall and just ever so slightly peek head over.
As you do, it takes a moment to realise what you're seeing. As you kind of look up, you can see the road coming in to the morning gate. Or the morning gate,
Yeah, morning
as they
gate.
sometimes
Oh,
call
that's
it.
so clever.
That's so funny.
That's the east gate, isn't it? Yeah.
Coming towards it, you can see maybe 10, 15 humans coming towards it. As you stop and blink for a second and let your eyes kind of focus on what you're actually looking at, you can see them walking at unnatural angles. You can see some of them maybe missing a wrist or a head hanging at an awkward angle where it shouldn't be. Clothes which look completely rotten hanging, moss on some of them, half their face on one of them kind of eaten away almost down to the bone with moss then coming over. As they kind of come towards you, you'd be able to identify them as zombies.
Yeah,
definitely.
So Red turns back around the corner and one at a time shows the picture of what she can see.
They're walking towards the gate, which is now shut.
We either go back and try and get through the north gate, or we kind of have to go through them.
How many were there?
10.
10 to 15.
Hey, you're a cleric. This is your deal.
You can hear them moving the other side, moving towards down this path.
Are they coming towards the gate, or are they?
It's hard to this general direction. Yes, you can hear from the walls various scrambling of people up, calling for reinforcements.
It could help them defend the gate if these things are coming for the.
Yeah.
Can we flank them?
What, wait until we hear combat and then go into the side of the zombies? Possibly.
I could entrap the path.
Guards should have this. We should go back to the other entrance.
It might be a good idea to get them to owe us something. We have caused a bit of trouble.
To be fair, we'll give us favour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miracle is not wrong.
We might die, but we get favour.
Nor if we stay at distance. They're slow.
Can I'll peek round the corner. Did I recognise the type of undead these things are?
Give me a knowledge religion, please.
Oh gosh, I'm not that.
You're a cleric.
Yeah, I mean, I can't judge.
10.
Yeah, you don't think they're zombies.
But they don't look particularly like.
They're mouldy zombies. They look old.
The old zombies. Okay.
Yeah.
They're slow. We can run if we need to.
Give me an initiative. I think we're about initiative time. They're probably
Initiative time!
Initiative time.
7.
Oh yeah.
6.
I've already got that because my initiative is +7 because I got alert, don't I? My initiative is crit. I am on 27.
Wow.
So the competition is going to be to win that set of dice, and all you've got to say is why Gabriel doesn't deserve them. And that set of dice right there will be yours.
They're lovely ravens.
They are beautiful ravens.
They're beautiful, like a clear and black. and
Okay, so
raven.
27. So that's going to be Gabriel first. Anyone above 20?
No.
I don't like the
15,
fact that I rolled a
17.
critical, like straight off.
Anyone else above 15?
No.
Above 10?
No.
Above 5?
7.
6.
What on earth are you not doing?
I've got -1 to my initiative.
Oh
so
god.
deal with it. Look, we're slow, we're big and slow.
Hessia, 4?
No, I got 17.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh, sorry. And Jackal, what was yours?
6.
I paid attention for once.
Buddies.
I've got a wriggling, squiggling thing on my
Gabriel.
back now, so.
Yep.
Quickest react. You would say there's probably 12 zombies here.
Okay.
They're pretty close to each other. You've got 10. So because I don't like using models. I like D&D Beyond call it theatre of the mind.
That's fine.
So they're coming at you in a staggered formation. You've got 5 at the front.
Okay.
They are about 30 foot away and they are close to each other. Behind them, you've got another 7 and they're about 45 feet away and the rest are behind that. You are guesstimating about 12 in total.
Okay.
So they're kind of in 2 groups, one and then a bigger group lump behind. Does that make sense into your mind? We'll do combat quite quickly, so be thinking about what you're going to do.
Okay.
And it is your turn, Gabriel.
I'm going to cast Chill Touch on one of them.
You're going to run in, or is it a range?
It's a range of 120 feet.
Nice. Yeah.
You create-
the closer ones or the further ones?
I'm going to do one of the further ones to make it seem... Because I'm guessing they're some distance away from me, aren't they?
Their second group are about 45 foot away.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll do it on the first... I'll do it on the first line. We create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against a creature. Oh, actually, no, that does neurotic damage. That may heal him.
What are you going for?
Yeah, I'll go Chill Touch.
Yeah, you invoke this spell. Calling upon the Raven Queen herself to aid you in destroying
things that should
as
be
you
dead.
Look at them, and all of you will be able to tell these are not fresh. These are old, very old. Some of them look anciently old.
Okay.
Whether that's a good thing or not. They carry a variety of rusted weapons. Some of them look clearly like farmers.
I got 22.
It's a big hit. Give me some damage, please.
It does 1d8 of necrotic damage. I know they're your dice. It does, and he does 1 point of damage.
Beautiful.
So you get
It landed on the rubber as well, which is quite pleasing.
It can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. Until then, the hand clings on the target. If the target is undead, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against you until the end of your next turn.
Oh, nice. So you focus, fling out this hand that erupts from yours, flies towards it, hits it in the shoulder as it staggers slightly, but continues to come forwards. Hessa, you're the next quickest to react.
She is going to leap out from around the corner and cast Scorching Ray.
All on one target or multiple targets?
Closest 3, because you can hit
all three separate people, or all onto 3? Okay, yep. Give me 3 rolls to hit, please.
So it's just a ranged spell attack.
It is indeed.
Oh no, hang on, I have plus 5, so 12.
Yep, 1 more, please, or 2 more.
16.
Yep.
And 11.
Yeah, and then give me some damage 3 times, please.
Also, I am now on fire, just so everyone's aware.
Why are you on fire?
I'll do damage and then I will show you. Okay, so
Give me some damage.
2d6 am I? So
Each one. And you reroll ones?
I do, let me just double check. When you roll fire damage for a spell, you can reroll any roll of 1, but you must use the new roll so I can... So that's 6.
Nice.
Do I do it for each of the 3? Yeah.
Please.
7. And 9.
Crikey.
Nice.
As you leap round this corner as well, the hand comes out. You do a little twirly. Give me a d20, please.
14.
The wild magic screaming out to be released from you as these 3 bolts of fire come spiraling out from your hands. And each one looks like almost for a second that it's got a face as it comes smashing out as a fire erupts around from you and everything gets light.
Yeah,
And if anything touches you, I think.
When you cast a spell that deals fire damage, you cause flames to wreath you until the end of your next turn. They don't harm you or your possessions. They shed bright light out to 30 feet, dim light for an additional 30 feet, and any creature within 5 feet who hits me takes 1d4 fire damage.
That's amazing.
Nice.
So this
I'm on
fire
fire.
erupts from you as this glow coming permanently now. They take them. As you see on one of them, it knocks his arm clean off where it catches him on the shoulder.
Nice.
But still, they keep marching forwards. They move about 20 foot, and some of them make it to the gate, and various guards have now got these kind of pikes, and they're trying to poke through from on top, and you can hear the shout and hear the click of various crossbows being loaded. Red, it is
How
your
far
turn.
away from us are they?
Oh, about 10 foot from the corner.
Protect 10 foot from us. Okay,
Yeah.
great. I'm going to cast Thunder Wave. So, Wave of Thunderous Force sweeps from you. Each creature within 15 foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw.
At the where you're standing at the moment, that would be your own team as well.
So I'm going to move away out of the corner.
You're going to jump into them?
Not into them, but towards them, for sure.
Yeah.
Towards.
So you'd be able to hit the front 5?
Yep.
Yep. So they just get a save against it?
Yeah,
What's
just
the DC?
save Constitution. The DC is 13.
Okay, give me some damage, please.
2d8s. Can I borrow your d8? Got a d8? Oh, there's mine. 2d8. That would be 8.
Nice.
And on a 6... and they're pushed 10 feet away.
Tricky. If they fail, or all of them are?
If... Just says each creature must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you.
Okay,
So
and
I'm
then
gonna
a successful.
On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed.
Right, 3 of them are pushed, and 3 of them are not, and they take 8 each. And then...
8 each unless they saved, in which case they take 4.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank you.
You see the small halfling girl run round, hit the floor as this wave, and it deafeningly loud. As 3 of them kind of get pushed into the bars, as the guards take a step back, but then come forwards into it as well. And one of them, as he gets pushed into the bars, his head gets knocked off. He's still standing and the arms are still working, but his head is now kind of lying on the floor next to him. Constance.
So, help.
From looking at this situation, you're not sure how these are going to get inside. Like,
They're just going to keep going until
they're dead.
they're dead.
Yeah.
Cool. So, in front of us, or just around the corner.
So you've got 3 which have been pushed right into the gate now, 2 which are a little bit behind them, and then 7 more which are coming as a big clump.
How far away are the 7?
About 15 foot.
That's 1 round.
No, you can close that distance if you want to.
No, but they'll be on us in
Yeah,
a
they'll
round.
be that 7 will be on you in a round. Yeah,
Okay, and they're closest to red currently.
they are indeed.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna run up and try and smash the 2 that are closest to red
Yep. So the 2 that didn't get knocked back.
with my silver sword.
Silver sword comes out.
And as a bonus action, before that, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on
Yay.
the closest one.
What does that do?
I choose a quarry that I can see within range and mystically mark it as my quarry. Until the spell ends, I deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever I hit it with a weapon attack, and have advantage on any wisdom, perception, or wisdom survival check I make to find it.
Nice.
If the target drops to 0 hits before the spell ends, I can use a bonus action on the subsequent turn of mine to mark a new creature, so you can go.
Yeah.
And it lasts for up to an hour, so...
You can kind of keep bouncing it around.
Yeah.
Yep, you invoke the magic. Who do you pray to?
Tyr, God of Justice.
And you charge forwards. Out comes the silver sword.
She's got that luck thing, so you can re-roll it.
Area luck.
Are you going to use your
Because
reaction?
I'm going to use my bountiful luck, so my allies can re-roll ones on attacks, ability, and saving.
That would have been such an
As
anticlimax.
you come into the mud, and you actually stand on one of their sort of bits of bodies that has been knocked off, and you feel your foot coming from underneath you.
I blame this mat, because every time I use this mat, I get 1s and 2s.
Don't use the map.
Okay.
Maybe you should use the map.
Maybe I should use the mat.
What's the total to hit?
It's a 7.
As you step in, more through your inadequacies rather than any defense that this creature puts up, you somehow manage to miss it. Overthinking it, you're already maybe 2 moves ahead. Oh, I'm going to stab this one in the head, spin round, and as you go to step it in the head, you're like, oh.
You also have a jester strap to your back.
I do.
That's really quite
He's wiggling around.
Yeah.
Jackal.
Okay. Right. I'll step around and I'll kind of reach into my pocket, take a little branch of thorns I've picked up, and I will kind of mutter some words like praying to soon. And I'm going to cast Spike Growth on the larger group that's behind.
Ooh, Spike Growth.
Oh, okay.
So, just in front of them, because they're all coming towards the gate.
So they've got
right?
to come through it?
So
Yeah.
it's on the path in front of all this group. So it's it's a 20-foot radius centered on the point in range.
Yep.
It sprouts spikes. It becomes difficult terrain, and any creature that moves through it takes 2d4 piercing damage every 5 feet that they travel through it. And that's a 20-foot radius.
Beautiful.
I'm going to cast that on the path like the other things are coming through. The bigger group.
As you invoke this spell, you may have seen other clerics do it, and normally it's kind of like spiky, jaggy plants or something like that. As you do, it's kind of like rib cages coming out of the ground. Ooh. It is boned fingers coming out of the ground now. Grim. As you see just this eruption of bones as they start to bleed coming out of the ground in front of them.
That's metal as fuck.
Why? Part of a death metal band.
The guards call. You hear a shout. Is it? Get him! Call him! And various crossbows come over. Let's see how accurate they are. Not terribly, as and one of them connects home. Taking one of the crossbows in the back group, coming towards the wall with a crossbow bolt in the shoulder. Doesn't even seem to react to it. Gabriel, your turn.
I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action. So a giant spectral scythe appears. I'm then going, and then it does attack on one of them. So it's a normal way. So the closest one to us, I guess. And that is a 18 plus 5, so 23.
That's a big hit.
And
so these are all three of these are not looking particularly healthy.
1d8 plus 5. It does 6 points of damage. My d8 isn't great.
Yeah. One of them hits the floor as you go. You come in as he kind of turns towards you as he goes to attack, and you just hand comes off, spin the sword, ram it into him as the body falls over backwards.
Cool. And I will take a step back, and I will extend my finger and point at the next one that I'm going to hit.
Okay. So the three which got sort of knocked into the fence aren't looking too healthy. 2 who didn't are looking a bit better, and then 3 at the back with all these spikes, or the 7 at the back with all these spikes.
The ones that are closest to us.
Your turn.
Are the people in front of me now, like in the fray?
Yes, there are indeed.
Sorry, I'm not going to do that.
If I set the scene, this big group doesn't seem to have taken much notice of these spikes that have just come out of the ground. There's this kind of melee with 5 at the front, with Constance, Gabriel, and Red very close to it. Behind them, Ismark, Irina, and you, and Jakul just a little bit in front of those.
Okay. I'm not going to use the one that indiscriminately hurts everyone in front of me then. I'm going to go again, Scorching Ray, again.
Yeah, so you've got 2 who are looking really ill, 1 who's looking pretty ill, and 2 which are looking freshish at the front, and at the back they're all looking fresh.
The three that look less.
Give me 3 rolls to hit.
Yep, 19.
I thought it said 49.
49.
49 to hit. So again, these things, as you're up close now, you can really see how ancient these are. Some of these moss, you'd notice it especially, Wood, doesn't grow on things that move, and takes years to grow. Some of this is maybe like 50, 60 years of growth.
Ooh.
You would be able to tell that these have been dormant for a long time.
But what worked then?
Sorry.
13.
Yep.
And 15.
Yeah, 3 hits. If you give me some damage, please.
So it's 2d6 again. 7.
That's more like it.
Oh my god, that is
8.
very powerful.
Yep.
Well,
And
warlocks have to drink.
10.
Yeah, 6 and 4.
Jeez.
That sounds like a demon potion.
That does look like demon potion.
Oh man.
That is so
That
purple.
looks lovely, Gabriel. That looks lovely.
That is the Raven Queen's best. That is.
Again, give me a d20, please.
10.
This wild magic is so eager to get out you. It like you can feel. I'm so sorry. Like, I kind of said that, and I was like, "Oh no.
Filter.
Oh, I apologise for that one. Oh, that's gonna be hilarious. Look back. Sleeper wheel.
The wild magic is pretty keen to erupt from you.
That's what I expected.
As it does,
Keep in
again,
mind until then.
the hand comes out as you do your little spin. The robes come spinning out in fire from beneath you. As 3 blasts. Again, it looks almost like they've got a face as they come out and smash into 3 separate targets. 2 of them, the smell of kind of like burnt moss and burnt flesh is now filling all of your lungs. Two more have gone down, so 3 have hit the floor now.
Are any of those the ones I have my thing on?
No, he's still up because he was one of the ones who didn't get hit by that. Yeah.
I've got to say, Eric's going to get in front of one of the ones that are in
Are
front.
you going to try and distract? Okay,
Yeah.
do that roll in a minute. And one of the ones who was fresher, who didn't get hit by the thunder wave, looks on his last legs as you do. No body parts fall off him though.
Always good.
The battlefield has turned to carnage, instantly to carnage. This kind of burnt flesh, broken bodies, the shouts from guards coming up on these points, stabbing spears and pikes coming from on top and through the gate. With your military mind, even without you guys here, you can't see how these would ever... Your knowledge of zombies, they're not going to climb over the wall. They're not going to go through it. There's no way that they could have gained entrance unless the door was open. It's my turn.
Oh.
So, my beautiful 7 zombies are probably going to get cut to shit. Because it's a little bit spiky.
Every 5 foot.
Every 5 foot. Do they get a save against it or not?
Nope. If they walk through it.
Okay. Do you want to roll for some damage? So you need to roll. We'll
It's
do for all of them.
2d4.
So do it 5, 10. They'll probably go through 15 foot of it, shall we say?
Yeah.
So give me 3 loads, and that is going to be their entire turn.
That's 5 damage.
6.
6.
Jeez.
And 3.
So 5, 6, and 3 in total.
Yeah.
So 14 points of damage. Holy mackerels. So
Sorry.
Yeah, even my wolf bear.
The wolf?
what you see as these zombies start to walk, as they're kind of stumbling forwards, a lot of them aren't wearing any shoes or any protection on their feet. Those who are not used to seeing combat, you can't help but squint or to look away from what is actually happening, as their feet are just stepping into bones as they're digging through, as they continue to walk. It's just, they're making no effort to dodge it, no effort to go around it. They've not gone back and taken another route as any kind of sentient being is. They're just moving forwards. And as you do, you see them getting ripped away. As one of them, as a rib cage which is kind of broken out of the ground, as his foot comes and goes onto it, as he tries to move forward, as you see the foot is left behind, as his ankle just keeps coming forwards. He doesn't stop, there's nothing, as he just keeps walking. And you see one of them is like completely just shredded himself down to the knee as he's just walking through it.
Smart creatures.
There's some in close combat with you. So there are 2 at the front. One is going to go for you, and red one on you. What is your AC, please?
15.
You got your spear?
Yeah, spear and shield.
His moves are very telegraphed. It's like fighting someone who's drunk. as he comes in, big swings, as you can see, this just pure anger look in his face, these rotten teeth, half his face just missing. As you look at him now as he's coming towards you, you can kind of see where he may have been kind of like lying on his side for a prolonged period of time. As he does, you're very able, just with your spear, just pushing the blows in his hands to the side.
19.
Okay. As this one comes in, you're able to read his movements with ease. And you get an attackable opportunity on him. Because he is so useless with a 1 to hit you.
So how does that work? Just a regular
So you just get an
attack?
attack.
10.
That's a hit. Give me some damage, please.
That is... Where's my sword? 1d6 plus 5. Oh my god, my rolls tonight!
What did you
That's
hit?
6 points of damage.
Okay,
With my silver sword.
nice. As he comes in with this kind of like wild claw swing at you, your sword comes up with ease and you just take in the rest of his blows on your shield. As he swings in, it's kind of his own momentum comes in as you bring your sword up, as you just straight across on the elbow as his hand just goes flying over your shoulder.
Cool.
Red, it is your turn. So you have 1 on you in close combat.
Yeah, I'll go for that one.
Yep, give me a roll to hit, please.
That would be an 11.
Yep, it's a hit.
Okay, so it's 1d6 plus 4. That would be a 10.
It's enough to drop him. He's not looking particularly fresh. What is Red's fighting style? Is it like low and just pokey?
Well,
You said like a
it
hoplite,
is-
didn't you?
It's a hoplite, so shield, like little round leather shield.
And kind of snooker-cuing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a number of little blows as he's kind of staggered in towards you. As it's just a pierce, another pierce. As you can see, kind of like green, like gooey coming out of him as he just falls over backwards. Constance, it is your turn.
I'm going to go for the one that I've got my 100 mark on.
Yeah, he's not looking fresh.
Cool. I'm going to just straight up attack. Yes. That's a 12.
That's a hit. Give me some damage, please.
That is 10 points of damage.
That's a
That's a d6 for you, Mark.
Plus 6. Which would be 1 point of just... Is it? No, it's just regular damage.
Okay.
So 11 points.
So as he's kind of like staggered and from attacking you, losing his hand, he still swings in to try and attack you with it. As you bring your shield round and fighting in this kind of Roman legionnaire style, lift him off, bang, 1, 2, off comes his head as the body just falls to the floor.
As a bonus action, I'm going to move my Hunter's Mark to the next closest.
Perfect. The guards will put in another volley of crossbow bolts to these ones coming towards you. Ooh, they do a bit better this turn. With 3 of them hitting. And they actually drop another 1.
Yeah, go
Drops
guards.
down. So there are currently 6 left. All of them, their leg, all of the flesh has just been completely ripped off it. Some are walking on knees. Some are walking on almost skeletal, like brittle bones.
Gross.
Is this what Constance is saying constantly? Gross.
Like so. Gabriel.
First off, going to tell Eric to annoy one on the left that I wasn't pointing at,
Yep.
and the one that I was pointing at, I'm going to, because it was using True Strike, I'm going to do an Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I get advantage.
Give me a roll to hit, please.
Get to re-roll that. 17 plus 5, so that's a hit.
Nice.
1d10 points of damage. Do 8 points of damage with the Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. The hand comes out as you blast him in the chest, and it's enough to take it down.
And then, bonus action, I'm going to move my scythe 20 foot and then do an attack on the one that is being distracted by.
Okay. Yep.
So that's 12 plus 5, so 17
Yeah,
to
enough
hit.
to hit. Give me some damage, please.
1d8. That is 8 plus 5, so that's
enough. These are looking
13 points of damage.
As it just swings in, it's paying no attention, just looking. It seems to really despise this raven.
Yep.
Really hate it. There's a lot of hatred from this zombie towards this raven. And your scythe just comes in from the side and straight through the middle of it as it falls still just on the edge of the spikes, these rib cages and fingers pointing out of the ground as it just kind of sinks into them. It's my turn.
Pretty good drops.
They are out of the difficult terrain now.
Don't I take isn't it 20 foot?
Yeah, there's a 20-foot radius.
Oh, right.
So, probably
So there's 4 left standing. It's going to be, your front line would be bang, bang, bang. And 1 extra, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 on you, Jackal.
Yay!
Oh, no.
They don't like those spikes and stuff.
It's so shiny.
What is your armor class, Jackal?
16.
One of them is actually...
Oh no! They're so dirty.
They're going to make a mess of your clothes.
I know!
You still got the carpet as well.
I guess I dropped it.
Use it as a weapon.
Take 5 points of damage, please.
No.
Jeez.
As these 2 zombies, again below the knee, just all of the flesh been torn off, kind of start biting into you and swarming over your shield as you're parrying and blocking well, but one of them does manage to sink his teeth into a shoulder very briefly. Constance, what is yours? That might be a hit. 17?
19.
Everyone's a comedian. And Red?
15.
I do like the idea of combat damage.
You've got one of the ones on his knees. He's picked someone about the same height as him to come and fight. But he keeps trying to walk as if he still had feet. Yeah, but he doesn't. And as he kind of slips to the side, you get an attack opportunity.
Do I just do damage or?
You get an attack.
Yeah, that's a 9
in total.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Amazingly,
Oh wait, no. Wait.
What's your dex?
Oh, sorry.
And your
That's
proficiency?
11.
amazingly hits.
Okay.
Give me some damage, please.
1d6 plus 4. That would be a 5.
Enough to finish him.
Yay!
Hestia, what is your armor class, please?
12.
The hand that Constance chopped off has crawled across to the floor as it's trying to get you, as you see it at the last second and just sort of step back.
I would have deserved to touch you, because it would have been set on fire.
Yeah, kick it.
Yeah, he just is going to hug things.
Even if it tries to make an
Red,
attack on
it
you.
is your turn. There are 3 left and they all look pretty bad, worse for wear.
I'll just go for whichever one is the closest then.
Give me a roll to hit, please.
That would be a 14.
Yep.
What do we add to it? What gets that? Is proficiency bonus to get added to it?
No, it should be...
Dex and proficiency.
For you is
And
Dex.
proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay, in which
For-
case that's an 18.
Nice, yeah, give me
And
some
then the
damage.
damage is just your dex bonus.
Just that'll be a 5.
Yeah, it's enough. They're super low. Again, as it comes in, they're so sluggish, and you've got one in the flank. The spear comes round as you just take it in the side. The kind of what they're leaving on the spear is a mixture of kind of like marsh water mixed with fungi, mixed with grimness. The smell that these things give off as it kind of fills your lungs, that kind of...
Is it actually like blood, like as in like humans? There's like actual
so
organic
old.
matter, or is it just
Yeah,
old?
to an extent, yes.
Okay. I didn't know if they were just like marsh creatures.
You know when you kind of you go somewhere which has got horrendous kind of mossy fungus, which nothing's happened to it for a while. That kind of deep, earthy scent mixed with death. It is how this spell smells now.
Delicious.
Jackal, it is your turn, sir. There's 2 left, and they both look very worse for wears.
Okay, I will yell, "Get away from me, filth!" And I will just cast Turn Undead, just like straight out, just like get the fuck away from me. This is filthy.
We'll speed it up.
Yeah.
because I think you guys are going to just...
Yeah, it should just be like 1d10 plus my wisdom damage radiant.
Yeah, this shiny...
Why didn't you do that earlier?
They have to be next to me. It's like the
this-
first two.
Jackal, as you look over and hear Jackal just shout for these to get away from him, these filth, they're the kind of polar opposites of each other. This beautiful gleaming silver dragonborn with this ancient zombie. As he does, they go cannot look upon him as they start to walk away, as all of you would just be able to bundle them.
There should be like radiant damage to them as well.
Yeah. They're down. They're down.
I'm sitting down and I'm healing myself and cure disease and cleaning myself and mending the clothes.
Yep. You're gonna...
I should put myself out.
You hear Ismark from around the corner. Is it safe?
Yeah.
He comes round.
And the first thing he sees is Eric starting pulling the eyes out of one of them right in front of him.
The tiefling on fire.
As he looks upon this battlefield, the colour drains instantly from his face. But his constitution stands strong as he kind of just looks upon it and for a moment half gags.
Why do we have them?
Because Red sent that message to us all.
Yeah.
Gabriel,
Just
Why him?
always ready, always alert. You kind of look up onto this wall now and look along it as you see 6 guards have now all trained their crossbows from what were on the zombies onto you.
You gonna let us in then? With this big smile on my face as Eric flies up and lands on my shoulder and takes the one last gulp of eye that he has from the zombies.
Zombie eye.
You recognise one of the guards.
Is it, what was his? Lars.
It is indeed Lars,
I love Lars.
pointing his crossbow towards you. No.
Why not?
He kind of points over to this absolute carnage on this battlefield now, where these 12, what were 12 zombies. So you chewed them out in that lasted about 40 seconds. Just complete.
Wow.
Everyone smile.
We helped.
Like, we did you a favour. We kind of helped your guards out.
We have a paladin and a priest here. I am not going to stand undead existing.
I'm going to get some kindling and put it on top of the... On top of you. On top of the pile and start trying to burn them.
You're going to pile them up.
Yeah.
I will not touch them, but I
They're
will
old
pray.
and wet.
Ew.
Yeah. To move them, are you going to kind of grab to try and make a pile?
Yes, tentatively.
No. It's
Not touching, like, grabby hands.
It's as you do kind of grab onto it, it's kind of like a spongy, fleshy moss. And as you kind of grab one on the shoulder and start to pull it, the shoulder arm just kind of comes out a joint.
All right, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to pull out my warhammer and just start smashing to pieces.
At this point, as you start smashing,
I smile and I like carry on.
Ismark's constitution had been so strong and he'd done so well, but it completely fails him as anyone towards the back would just see green flush through his face as he kind of staggers back and makes his way to the corner, turns his head as you heal him, start to retch.
You lot are attacking them, so we thought we'd join in and help Lars. Still with my hands up, because I don't want to get shot by the crossbow you've got pointed at me, because I know what a crossbow bolt feels like in the shoulder.
You hear a voice you recognise, a deep, powerful young man's voice.
Is it the man with the monster arm?
What is going on here? As you see, standing above this bald head,
It's the man with the monster arm.
What was his name?
to see you smashing all of these and looks round. Give me a insight. Anyone who is looking towards him, please.
I'm guessing that's a 6.
14.
9.
14.
6.
14.
It's hard to read his emotion. You can't see his arm that you have seen before. He's in the similar armor as he kind of this heavy chain. You can see this axe head just on his shoulder as he kind of looks at the scene and the carnage and just takes it all in for a second. Looking, they've not completely closed the gate, so what you've got gate-wise is a full portcullis.
Yeah.
And then a swinging wooden gate.
They haven't closed the wooden gate.
They've not closed the wooden bit. You see another man there. Some of you may remember, you may not. Standing, maybe 5'10", 5'11".
Is he the one that went in for breakfast?
He is indeed. Quite an attractive man. Not hugely attractive, but clearly looking after himself a lot better than some have. As he kind of looks at it, as he takes half a step back. Captain, can you not see these people have done you and your guards a favour? This menace, although I do not doubt you would have dealt with, they have surely helped the town. These are not our enemies. Clearly they have proven themselves to be friends of Vallaki. Captain, open the gate.
I'm listening intently to wait for him to say a name. Lars, respond to him. Does Lars say anything back to the well-dressed gentleman?
Pardon?
Does Lars say anything back to the well-dressed gentleman?
Is the captain the monster arm guy?
Lars kind of looks down, the guard you've met before, and then looks over to the captain of the guard, Isaac,
that's the
who
name.
looks away and gives him a nod and starts making his way down from the wall to leave. Open the gate. And you start to hear this
Thank you.
as it starts to pop up.
Right. In we go.
Smiles on.
It is a mess out here, like an absolute state of a mess. Give me nature, religion, please.
That'll be 20. No.
3.
Is that 23 or 3?
3.
You are the best cleric.
I'm an even better player. Do you know what I got?
What?
A critical fail.
Oh.
I love you guys so much.
I love all religion rolls, which I think have all been under 3. I've got a +1 as well, so you know.
So,
Yay.
from looking at them and from fighting them now, looking at the corpses, you probably would have seen death in the wild.
Yeah, things growing off them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really understand how zombies work. Does it preserve the flesh? Does it not? You're not sure. But you would say these, from the moss on them, some of them may have been lying dormant for hundreds of years, and hadn't moved. And that is just
And
lying.
are still relatively juicy as well.
Relatively juicy, yeah. So in your mind, you are thinking, why were they maybe for that long?
Yeah.
Or did something wake them up?
Who's the best person to tell
As you
it?
guys make your way back into the town, let me move my notes over, please. Where are you heading for?
That's a good question. Where are we going?
What are we
So
trying to
it's
go?
maybe about 1 o'clock.
We're going to the toy shop, weren't we?
She's got something.
We got to go to the.
Oh yeah, we're going to go to the church because of the curse. I'd forgotten all about that. Yes, if I sleep, I die. So we were going to go to the church.
Shall we?
No,
In character, please. Where are you going?
we were going to go to the church to see if you can get sanctuary there so you can sleep there.
Yes.
Yep.
But we also need a...
And maybe if they have a priest who knows who is strong enough to remove curse.
Yeah. And we can go to the toy shop.
It's no fun. It's no Blinksy.
I have to toy
Has
shop.
the
would like
have we
a
did we
sentient
receive a message from the Lord of this land for a meeting yet?
No, we haven't.
No,
Not yet.
we are expecting it.
But
we are.
we did say that we have arrived.
It's Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Marcus.
It probably would be protocol for us to let him know that we are here to visit.
Did we not pass the message on when we arrived at the beginning? I thought we told Lars.
No, but Lars may have not told him.
That's true.
Maybe at the inn there'll be a message for us.
Yeah, worth checking. Yes.
Go check on
As-
Brian as well.
As Ismark
Yeah, right.
and Irina make their way past
Brian,
the carnage,
Brian.
Ismark tries to kind of shield so she doesn't look upon it.
It's dirty, but it's fine. You don't have to touch it.
Red is going to telepathically communicate to Constance the image of the bodies in the ground and like the sun passing lots and lots and lots and lots of times. To sort of communicate that they've been there a long, long time and the body hasn't changed. And then the question.
How juicy were they?
Pretty juicy. Spongy.
Yeah.
Spongy, as in like spongy bones, or spongy? Like, was there lots of flesh on them still?
No, some of the flesh
Most
had
of it
been
was
eaten
like-
away for sure.
But sort of preserved.
Ish.
Sort of
Like for a
thing.
couple hundred years, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
If this was like a deer that had been left in the wild,
It would have been
there'd be
like
nothing
that.
left of it. Nothing
There would be no
left of it.
bones left. Yeah, it's going to be like that prodding question again, and then the image of Strahd.
I'll ask Lars, like, is this a common occurrence here? Like, undead attacking your walls?
He'll be making his way down from the wall. Again, this kind of scruffy, couple of days shaved. His smile does reach his eyes. He's one of those kind of people, as he kind of looks to you with this big, broad smile. And he stands next to this poster for the latest festival.
We don't. be
Which
here.
one's on this week?
The Blazing Sun.
What is it? Is that on like, tomorrow or something? Or is it-
Weekend.
Oh,
The
2
weekend,
days, that's
yeah.
it. The
2
weekend.
days. We got there on a Wednesday.
Surprisingly rare.
Yeah.
We're reasonably secure here.
Strange. There's
Why?
As he kind of looks, we're fortified. Very little can get over this wall. Sometimes some wolves try, but we have quite a strong man at arms that can repel them.
anything that you would think would have disturbed these undead, or someone
What-
would
why
have sent
dead?
them at us?
He kind of... Some Vastani, they came, they were looking for a girl. Maybe if they were searching in dark places where we shouldn't travel.
May have disturbed something?
Maybe they disturbed something they shouldn't.
I suppose that is possible.
Red very quickly
But
puts a message to you about the hood, the executioner's hood.
he kind of... The people here despise the Vastani.
We did see like strange things along our journeys here, like a hangman's noose and various bodies hanging around, and a
grave.
strange executioner's hood in a tree. But we just left it and just kept going, but it was very odd. We definitely did not pick up the hood.
I did not pick up the hood.
You did.
Did I? I might have picked up the hood. I may or may not have picked up the hood.
I plead the fifth.
It's a cursed land.
Indeed. Well, we are going to go rest up a bit after this excitement.
Indeed. He kind of looks over your shoulder. Thank you for your assistance, Vasily. Thank you.
Anytime.
It's fine.
He says that to the kind of reasonably handsome but not super handsome man, who just gives a nod.
Well, shall we go to the end and check on Brian, see if there's word, and then we can decide where we
And then
go
we
from
can go
there?
to the church.
We can leave the
Yep.
carpet there then as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ismark runs over to this chap, Vasily. Thank you for the words you said on the gate.
Vasily, isn't it?
Yep. It's a strange town with strange customs.
Yes. Thank you
Gentleman just puts up a hand, a smile. Do not mention it, friend. Do not mention it. Perhaps you can buy me a drink at some point. But I must leave now. I have business. And he politely excuses himself and goes off on his merry way. Where do you head to?
Tavern first?
Tavern first, the inn.
What was it called?
Oh, is the
There's something on the
blue
lake.
something?
The Blue Water Inn.
Yeah! Half it right.
So, you head along the street. You had noticed they're not particularly hiding themselves, but there is a patrol of free guards who are never too far away from you. As you walk along, a lot of people are giving you a wide berth, for sure.
You are smiling, aren't you, Red?
You can feel
It's
a
more,
wiggle.
like, it's more like sort of,
Gnarly.
yeah, it's a bit of a gnarly smile.
Teeth bed.
A wiggle
Teethy.
coming from within your bag.
Let me out!
Good thing it can't talk.
Oh god. I would not be okay if I could talk.
Right, let's get... So we get back to the tavern?
Yep, you make your way through town from this, direction. You would walk past the church as you look over.
Oh,
We should stop here at the church. But
While we're
walk
here.
past. Yeah.
if we
may
walk
as well,
past
yeah.
it, then yeah.
That's like a great idea.
I guess we'll help out the tiefling.
Thanks. I hope.
Bean break.
It looks
Oh no, escape beam.
it's got a steeple to it, bulging slightly from the weight at a slight angle, centuries old, but looks to be much better maintained than the smaller church you remember from the village of Barovia. It has actually got some glass windows up on it, which seem to have a saintly face with a halo over the top. Around it is quite a wide, long iron fence, and you can see a number of gravestones inside with thin moss gently growing over both them and the fence.
Do we tell who it's dedicated to, the church?
You can
Probably the Morning Lord, right?
You can definitely recognise a lot of the Morning Lord symbolism. The saintly figure, you're not sure.
Can we do a religion check?
Give it a good go.
Let's give it a go again. So
I mean, I could do a
who's the better
religion check.
religious person here? 8.
I got a 12.
No, sorry.
too bad.
10, sorry.
Plus
You're
one.
not sure, I'm
13.
afraid.
13.
You know, just for funsies.
Yeah, I'm good.
No, 11.
Crit.
Have you got knowledge religion?
No.
No.
You can't use it. You don't know.
I know a lot about a similar statue that isn't of the same person.
You know it's valuable.
The chapel looks quite busy as you approach. Think classic German Gothic stylings, couple of small gargoyles on it, a bit mossy, but it definitely looks, as you look at it, bits of the roof have definitely been repaired within the last maybe 20 years. As it stands tall. Make your way in.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
The doors are open. There's a number of people in there. You see the far side, quite a large altar with pulpit. Man, maybe 30, 35, tall, maybe 6'2", 6'3", human. Fairish hair, pale skin with quite striking blue eyes. He stands wearing quite clean, white greyish robes. He looks very different to Father Donovan, who you met in the village of Barovia, as he stands shoulders back, looking up, as he's just laying a hand as someone is praying at the altar. As he sees you all enter, he just gives a small bow of his head and just quickly looks over you. And then back to what he's doing. You'll be able to hear his voice is clear and pure. The words he says, as he says this prayer to the Morning Lord. And may the light of the Morning Lord guide you in all your actions and all your deeds. May he look down on you and smile. Smile for the light that you bring this world, for you are a child of light. As he bows his head slightly, as the person again makes a small holy symbol gesture over their chest. Thank you, Father. As he looks over towards you, his arms come wide in a very big, open, welcome gesture. I heard we had new travellers. Welcome.
Thank you. Sort of do a bow, the same as his was.
My name is Father Lucian, and this is the Church of St. Andrew.
Do I recognise the name?
No.
Sorry, what did you say? The
Lucian St. Andrew.
Come.
Angela.
Andrew, I think. A-N-D.
Red shoves Hessia forward.
A-N-D-R-A-L.
Yeah.
Red puts a hand behind Hessia and just shoves her forward. And face.
In our travels, we seem to have...
So as you step in, you can see what light there is coming from outside, striking this window. And inside it looks much nicer. Your eyes have kind of got accustomed to the darkness in here. As you can see this quite attractive female's face, lady. It's hard to say the age, with this big holy halo around her. The classic saint portrait that you would get in a stained glass window.
Cool. Fix.
We've run into some trouble
Well,
on the road.
sorry to...
Just a hand comes up as he looks around at the people who are in there. Come with me. And takes you sort of down into a cider room. Opens it. Older room. You would assume a private study. It is a bit of a squeeze with all of you in there for sure. There's a chair with enough for two to sit at the table. Bookcase to the side with a number of old leather-bound tomes in it. Sorry. Tombs in it.
Leather-bound tombs.
I'm making my way to my way to the bookshelf.
Yeah.
Red's going to go clamber on top of one of the chairs.
I always do the thing I want to do.
Scramble up.
Sorry.
I'll stay at the back.
You two should be paying attention to this. You're the hungry
I am
ones.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is best not to scare the flock.
Indeed.
They do not need to know of what goes on outside of these walls at times. Here's a big, warm, genuine smile crosses his face. So, tell me what troubles you.
So,
Yeah.
we came across night hags. Is that what they were?
Yeah, we're very
Yeah.
unpleasant creatures that attack, well, that we save the child from. But in doing so,
They got my blood,
we believe that they have cursed our companion here.
and they tried to kill me in my sleep last night.
I see. You are lucky to be alive. I've heard of these hags. So you seek consecrated ground?
Yeah.
Yes, and if possible, someone who can remove curses.
He kind of sits down opposite the chair. As his warm smile fades and becomes worry. I can help you with half of your problem. But half, I'm afraid, is beyond me. Tell me, what do you know of St. Andrew?
Absolutely nothing.
Not much, I'm afraid. We are new to these lands.
Zilch. Nada.
He looks over to you near the bookshelf, Gabriel. Top shelf, second from the left, please. Yep.
I'm literally just not carrying on back reading
Rolls for
the.
bookshelf.
Definitely not the thickest of books, but you can see it's well thumbed. I will lend this to you. Please return it to me. He passes it over to you, Jekyll.
Yeah, I'll
You can read it and summarize
take it with some reverence.
She was, and is, a figurehead, something that stood against the one who should not be named in this town. Led an attack against him. Breached the walls of Ravenloft.
Wow.
And they let you worship her openly here?
She is the longest anyone has ever managed to stand against him. But even she was not strong enough, it would seem.
Sounds like a very impressive woman.
This chapel was named after her because it houses her bones. Or rather, it did.
What happened?
I'm not sure. I felt it, as I'm sure you have, as I've travelled. They consecrated these land, this area, this graveyard, all of it was because the bones here were the focal point. They held back the curse that the rest of the land contains. My power alone was not strong enough, but with them as a focal point, it was. But now, somehow, they have been stolen. Maybe an agent. I'm not sure.
Did they just disappear? I assume they were under lock and key.
How recently?
I noticed 6 days ago.
Where are they normally kept?
In her tomb.
No, where's her tomb?
I can show you.
Okay. I'll put the book in my bag.
So, know that I'm asking for you to help me, and I shall help you in return, for my help comes without price. You are welcome to stay here, and I shall do what I can to hold back that what hunts you in the night.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
But you will not be alone here at night. Many citizens come, but all are welcome.
It's quite understandable. I'm sure she won't be much trouble.
How far away is this church from the inn?
To walk there, 200 meters.
Oh, nice.
So not stupid distance.
So we can sleep on the nice beds.
You can sleep in those beds.
I'll be at
You
the
can
church.
sleep in a church.
So, if you could find these bones, I fear leaving the chapel at the moment. Perhaps an attack is coming. It has been a long time.
Well, since we just had to kill a load of undead.
It is because everyone here is so happy.
Do you believe that? Can you tell us anything about the festivals?
Some think them to be folly, some despise them. I think some probably do enjoy them.
What do they involve?
Varies. This will be the Festival of the Blazing Sun. We've had the Festival of the Wolf, something. It's mandatory to go.
But what kind of festivities are they? Is it a carnival? Is it
A procession
fair?
sometimes a tournament or a competition. It varies with him, it really does. I believe his heart... This is Vargas, our Burgermeister, was... He kind of looks around as if expecting someone to be listening. I believe his heart is perhaps in the right place.
But you believe them to be an innocent distraction, shall we say?
What brings you here?
We still got Irina and Ismark with us. They just.
Can I get a read on him?
No, they wouldn't have gone in.
So they're in the main body of the church.
Sorry, I should have said they'll let you guys go in, you discussing this.
Can I get a read on him, like what his reaction is to this whole discussion of the festivals and stuff?
Yeah, give me an insight.
No, I'm going to use my empathic as well, so that I'm
nice.
trying to get a read of him.
You focus on him? Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. They don't even bother rolling. From the way he looked around, he was definitely making sure... He knew you were new to town.
Yeah.
He was making sure you weren't on... From you guys asking about the festivals and the way you asked the questions, you would think he agrees with your point of view on them.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
Cool.
So, what brings you here?
That's a good question.
And I will ask you this. Do you plan to try and overturn this Dark Lord? Because others have come before you and others have tried. And when they do, they always bring wrath.
Red looks at the rest of you and just.
So I will say this, is if that is your plan, I would recommend telling nobody of it. It is a noble pursuit.
We're definitely not here.
Are you
to
meant to
do
be
that.
prodding?
I'm going.
Yeah. Picking it
Show
up.
him the thing.
Pardon?
I'm sort of giving you the look, which means show him what we've seen.
Which in particular? Oh, everything.
Well, take your pick.
Do we want him to know about Irina?
Not necessarily, but like how we got here and
Okay. Gotcha.
The Vastani.
and some other things we fought so far.
Okay, so Red's gonna walk up to him, put a hand out, because she can do it without touching, but just sort of as a
Consent thing.
consent. I'm not just gonna prod your brain with my brain.
Brain prodding.
Prodding. Why do you say that like you all know that song?
That's also gonna be on the
Do you not
t-shirts.
know? Do you not know brain prodding?
No, there's a hat.
With the musical notes. You know
Yeah,
the
she's
rest.
gonna walk up and put a hand out,
Yeah,
There's no need to say the
sort of.
friendly.
Yeah, just like
Okay,
hand
so
out as in
what
like
images-
an invitation.
What images do you give him?
So, she's going to show when we first met the Vastani. Is it Vastani? Yeah. When we first met them with the werewolves, falling asleep and then waking up in the mists.
Yeah.
It's all going to come very slowly because she's not used to it. Barovia, this is the village of Barovia. She'll miss out Irina and Ismark. Show the murder house.
Okay.
And then show the werewolves chasing us, and then our eventual arrival. And she's showing the hags as well.
Is she showing the sacrifice in the murder house?
Oh yeah.
Is she showing
And as she shows the sacrifice in the murder house, there's a little
single tear?
comes down, and then their arrival there.
This will take some time as
Yeah.
these images
She's
flash
doing
up.
she's doing it quite slowly.
Yeah. As his eyes meet you and they're very intense. These like bright blue, sort of like icy blue.
Oh
blue.
hey, kind of the same as mine.
Dad?
No.
As you get to the bit in the death house, murder house, You see a small tear roll down his cheek as well.
I'm still not over it.
As he steps in and embraces you.
She just sort of lets it happen. Doesn't fully hug back, but sort of slightly relaxes into it.
Brain prodding.
Brain prodding.
Brain prodding. Prod your brain.
You've been through much. And I fear things will only get worse. You must choose your allies wisely. As he kind of looks around you all briefly.
We were thinking of heading towards the cathedral, just west of here.
Would make sense.
Abbey. Yeah.
Abbey.
Have you heard anything good from them? Does news travel between you?
My focus has been my flock here.
Okay.
I hear some traders come through, especially from the wizards' wines. But I hear even they're struggling and recently.
Okay.
Is there anyone you'd recommend we do not trust here? Or is that too big a question?
What about the dude with the arm?
Oh yeah. What is his name?
Man with the arm.
Physic.
That's a monster.
Physic.
Mr. Monster Arm.
Physic.
Is there anything you can tell us about him? His deformity?
Varus welcomed him as an adopted child. And he leads his militia. But more than that. If you come this evening, there is one of the members, one of our congregation. She comes each night and prays to me for my aid and the Morning Lord's aid. Her son, his foolish ways. He, at the last festival, as some who live here, was unhappy with it. And he refused to partake. But more than that, he stood against it. Isaac arrested him for malicious unhappiness. And he has not been seen since. 6 days ago now.
So you're not allowed to visit him in prison?
He's not... We do not really have a prison here.
6 days is the same amount of time since
the
the
bones
bones
went.
disappeared. Why is it that you only see them once a week? The bones. Why is it that it took that long for you to realise?
Oh, I realised 5 days ago.
5 days ago.
I knew something was wrong. But it's taken the majority of my power and time to keep what is left of this land as it is. If all of the consecrations fall, as you know, everything that is currently in that graveyard.
Huh. Could you show us where the bones were?
Of course. Come with me. He makes his way out of the room.
He's blessed.
Was there any good books?
There's like the morning song prayer book that you've seen before.
Yeah.
And a couple of old religious books.
How did that miss me?
But most of it, from what you've seen, would be very regional.
Yeah, cool. I'll carry on more. I'll put on.
Do you take the book he gave you with
You know what
you?
the best thing about that is?
Yes, I have it in
I'm
my
pretty
pack.
sure that card is bless. I'm blessed. Bless you.
Oh,
Bless
I
you.
have the book. I put the book in my bag.
So did you just sneeze and knock bless off the table?
I sneezed.
And Bless came flying towards.
Can't breathe.
Excellent. Wonderful.
God. Oh, God.
So he makes his way across the church. As you do, you see a number of small children are kind of stood with Ismark and Irina, and they are full on just staring at Irina. Like, full on staring. Just like...
Oh, hold on. Does the statue look similar to her?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. That was good.
No, good call though. Good
Never, I was just thinking, I was like, maybe. Never mind.
Do they seem comfortable being stared at and just standing there? They're all right?
She's kind of like chatting with them, and the kids are kind of like huddled and looking. He takes you sort of across the front of the church and to the other side into a different alcove. You can see lying in it a big sarcophagus. What do you want to look at?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to investigate the area.
Yep, give me an investigation. What are you looking for specifically?
I'm looking for any leftover kind of signs that somebody broke in and leave it open or anything like that. Is it a very heavy looking sarcophagus?
Yeah.
Is there any sort of like security, like locks or gates or anything like
No,
that?
just heavy.
open. Just a sarcophagus.
So that would be 14.
Do you want me to help? Because I've got investigation as well.
Yeah, you can give me an investigation.
I can do survival as well, check for any like
Yeah.
marks.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
a different sort of trackage.
Yeah.
15.
Nah. Wait. 13.
Yeah, between you have a good look at it, and from the description you've given me, you spend maybe 5 minutes looking at it. What you can see on top of the sarcophagus into the stone is like a woman in full plate armor with a long sword going all the way down her body. The edge to the sword looks as if it is a flame. You'd be able to tell from looking at her here that it is definitely the same person in the windows. Here you can see the sculpt, although it's very old, it's been kept indoors, so it hasn't really eroded that much. As you look at it, you can definitely see that people have run fingers. It's got that kind of like sheen to it in certain places. You investigate it. You can see something sharp has pried in and livered it open. You don't think it would be a crowbar. As you look at it from here, what did you get?
14, I think it was.
I got 15.
13.
And from looking at the tracks, it could be a one-person lift, you would say. And from they didn't push the whole thing off. It's kind of been levered and spun to the side slightly, and you can see where something was dug into it. Looks not pickaxey, not axe, not a crowbar, more kind of like a pickaxe or something like that, as kind of like chipped in and then levered like that to just push it enough to the side and then scooped out whatever was in there.
Was it reclosed afterwards or just like open
and then left?
Left open. Okay.
You would think a one-person job.
Is it completely emptied out? There's nothing left
No.
in there.
How recently did we get to this area?
Pardon?
How recently did
Day.
we get to the area? A day?
You've
Yesterday?
had one night here. Yeah.
No, it's not a dwarf friend.
That's what I was thinking.
Old
been-
dwarfy.
Yes.
We've not been in Barovia 6 days, have we? No.
A couple of people approach the priest and ask for blessings. And he, if you would excuse me, if there's anything else you need.
We may have more questions later.
Should we close this so then no one gets suspicious?
It's not open. It's just
It's still open. He said
Is
it's
it
open.
open?
No, cancel that, he would have closed it.
Yeah.
He would have pushed it back.
Yeah.
But he would have said that he found it open.
Yeah.
And there's nothing left in
I thank you for your assistance in this matter.
Just before you go, are the doors to this chapel open all the time?
They are indeed. All
So
are welcome.
nobody needed to break in.
Do you have any other acolytes or anyone who would have been
There is
maybe saw something?
an altar boy, Yeska. I think he is talking to someone who arrived with you now. And also kind of pauses for a second. My grave digger, Milivoj. Another who was an orphan.
There's no one you suspect of this crime?
With your empathic, getting to know this man, you've met priests before, you've met clerics before. This guy's will to be as strong as he is now, with all of this nonsense that is going around him constantly, is fucking insane. Like, properly, you've no doubt that the majority of the priests you've met would be Father Donovan. Just complete shells of people who just cannot stand against what is coming against them. But still, he's kind of standing strong and tall. There was something about the way where he said, Yeska, the altar boy, who was an orphan, and also Milivoj. He's my gravedigger, who was an orphan as well.
Suspicious.
Yeah, something about the way he said that name. But I must go.
Okay.
Come to me if you need me.
Thank you.
Thank you. She will come tonight, probably.
I will be.
Walks over to the people, clearly upset, and takes them up to the altar.
I'll pass on that he seems to suspect the gravedigger, though he does not say it outright.
It's the fact that it looks like it's been done with a pick.
That's a good point.
You can hear from these two girls and a young boy who is staring at Irina. It's freaky, isn't it? She looks like just the same. It's crazy. There's like the two little girls are like, yeah, he gave me one of them.
I head over to them and I say, hello, children.
Are we collecting children?
I'm not collecting any
Childcare voice.
I am very good at children. What's that you're saying about my friend here? Who does she look like?
The little boy who you would assume to be Yeska, the altar boy.
Oh, yes.
You can tell by what he's wearing. Looks to you and kind of looks at the symbolism, and you can see him racking his brain, trying to work it out. Looks over to you for a second, looks at the symbols, racking his brain, as you can almost physically see the cogs turning in his head. He's maybe 8 or 9. As he kind of looks over to you and leans forward, making sure no one... It's no fun, it's no blinksy.
Would you ever do that?
Is that the toy maker?
Yeah.
Eric mimics him.
Two little girls,
So creepy.
they're like... He's got a monkey at the moment as well. A monkey?
Really?
It's the first time I've ever seen a monkey. It's on my shoulder.
You should see what she's got in her bag.
As you mention it, the little bag wiggles slightly.
No.
A surprise for another time.
Maybe later. It's sleeping now.
Spoils
The bag moves even more.
Have we been told where the shop is?
Yeah.
Where a toy
yes.
shop is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blinksy's toys.
The owner of the Blue Water Inn, Erwin, told you. You did ask him for various landmarks. It's kind of like semi on your way, but off the main road.
So, is there a toy in that shop that looks like my friend? Really?
Yeah, the hair's exactly the same.
Same as this hair too.
They kind of look over to that as well.
I think we need to go there next.
As one of them with like little grubby hands starts kind of like leaning towards you.
Red sort of bats, very lightly bats it away, not too hard, just sort of get off.
I'm sure she'd be able to. Irina would be able to put your hair in that style if you'd like.
We're pimping out Irina's hairdresser.
As a hairdresser.
Travelling
This is how she earns her keep.
Father Lucian. Yes, sir. I need your assistance, please. As he assumes the position, hands kind of clasped in front of him. Yes, Father? As you hear sort of hushed voices as they kind of chat. As the two little girls kind of left there in these grubby, kind of rag-like clothes, kind of look to each other. Really? I promise? She kind of looks to them. Again, this warm, natural smile crosses Irina's face. You see her smile often, but sometimes when she's really touched, as you can see, the smile touches her eyes. It would be my pleasure. We're staying at the Blue Water Inn.
And we'll be back here later, won't we?
Yeah.
Yes. Sure.
Do you two sleep here then?
So they both kind of nod and grab each other's hands.
Should we head to the toy shop then?
Let's head to the toy shop.
Yeah. Have you seen anything
Are you
strange?
Gonna buy any of those toys?
I don't know yet.
Just saying. Right, hurry back, bye! As they kind of give really dodgy kind of curtsies in their kind of, not quite sack clothes, but yeah, we're not far off. You leave the chapel. You would instantly be able to feel what the consecration on here isn't.
Yeah.
It's
It's better than no consecration.
As we leave, I'm going to kind of see what names I can spot on the gravestones. And I'm looking for Piddlewick as we leave. Yep, cool.
Doesn't sound very Barovian.
It doesn't.
Realize
Killed by a puppet
just by puppet.
that looked weirdly like him.
Master of Puppets. Something.
So, you make your way across town. Where are you heading to?
The inn first or a toy shop?
Toy shop?
Toy shop.
No fun. No blinking.
Bear with me.
Wasn't expecting this.
Nestled near some houses just off the main path towards the south of the city, you see some big sort of like bay style windows popping out slightly with a number of puppets and various things hanging from hooks. You can see a sign which looks like it hasn't been painted in a long time. It's got a small rocking horse on the sign with a bee engraved in it. They're sort of leaded windows, small panels, but letting some light in. There's a sort of a jumble of different toys in here, but it isn't a joyous experience looking through. It's a pretty sad and not depressing, but just not incredible.
Just open the door and walk in.
Yeah, you make your way in, a little bell above it. It's quite a cramped shop, especially if all of you were going in. That would pretty much be the whole shop. As you can see, a number of toys around here, and surely enough, probably 3 or 4 of them in a number of stages of being prepared, look very, very similar to Irina.
Do they look old or like brand new, kind of new?
In the process of being made, you would think.
Red
Is
goes and
Blinksy about?
picks one up.
Within a couple of seconds, coming out from the back room, a man, quite a chubby-ish face, you would say maybe 50. Goatee, well looked after, wearing jester's robes with some bells on it, purple and green, with then a hood on with the alternate covers, and then a jester's three-pronged hat on top. As he sees you and looks, and gives an elaborate bow. My name is Blinksy. Welcome to my store. Do you seek gifts?
And knowledge.
Answers is what we seek.
What you say is what you say.
Red's gone over and picked up one of the Irina dolls.
Where was I? My newest assistant. As you hear a little. And then jumping from shelf onto a shelf. It's a very small, little kind of like spider monkey-esque. And its tail wraps around him as he gives it a little scruffle on the ear.
Detect evil?
I cast Divine Sense.
I cast Divine Sense on the monkey.
Let me show you some of my toys. As he looks around and picks one up. This toy is a new one I've been working on. As you can see, it's like a wooden toy. You may be thinking a standard wooden toy, but no! As he takes the head off. Detachable heads for whichever mood you are in. As he puts different ones on and then puts and look, this one. You see one with like full sewn up lips and eyes. Because why not? and puts it down.
What about this one over here?
Red's holding, sort of.
Irina's with us.
What does this one do?
Yes, he kind of looks. That is not for sale, I'm afraid. Maybe.
And she points to the other 3 or 4 that are in the process of being made.
As you do, he's kind of like flustering. Some bats, perhaps, as he like pulls out.
Who's the most
like a
bag
wooden
of bats?
Yeah, like a wooden bat with wings as he kind of jumps it and.
God.
The model for this seems vaguely familiar.
Or
We got Irina and his mug with us.
I assume they're outside because there's not room.
As you lot are faffing around, I'm going to open up your bag and get Piddlewick
as
out.
you do,
Little
he kind
pudgy
of
Piddlewick.
he looks over and I bet you've never seen one of these before, and pulls out like a Russian doll. It looks just like a normal, and then smaller one, and a smaller one, and a smaller.
Red interrupts him. I bet you've never seen one of these before.
He looks at it.
Just mimicking him.
Is that the longest sentence you
Yes.
can say?
But she's made before.
As this mechanical, very small Piddlewick looks at him with his jester's hat, as this toy maker kind of lost for word for a second, tips his head to the other side as it does the same.
Oh.
It's a lie. As he kind of looks at your hands to make sure you're not using it as a puppet. Incredible.
Did the puppet also go?
What? Who is it?
This, I believe, is a jester called Piddlewick.
It's an automaton.
This is the latest. First a monkey, and now is he for sale?
Yes. And I'll do you a really good deal on him.
As you do, he kind of puts the Piddlewick kind of looks around to you with his head and puts his head to the side slightly.
What?
Perhaps before we do any business, I rummage around in my bag and find from the bottom of it the little doll that says that is no fun, is no Blinksy tag we picked up in the village of Barovia. And I pass it over to him and say, do you recognise this one?
Yes, he does. Oh, this is one of my older dolls. Yes, yes. I made this maybe 20, 25, 30 years ago. My
Really?
older style.
Really?
I've got much better toys now.
Do you Did you make a lot like this?
A few, yes.
Fine.
My craft has improved, as I'm sure you can tell.
So you wouldn't know exactly who this was bought by?
I'm afraid it was a long time ago. Anyway, where were we? As he looks back over.
She's pointing at that doll still.
Yeah, he's kind of eyeballing it.
Who's the model?
You can have this guy
Multiple conversations.
for 10 gold and information about those models.
Ten's very cheap.
Or you can just give me the information for free.
That would be a lot of my gold, you see.
Oh, come on. She said that out
I pick up Piddywig and went, fine.
Is his little legs just on?
But I can give you 2 gold for the information about them dolls.
So does that make it 8 gold?
We're not paying.
We're not saying it.
information.
I'm going to give him 2 gold for the information.
Because I haven't been gave it, does it?
We might as well keep it. He's not going to. He doesn't have enough. He doesn't even have enough for the rug that we're carrying around with us.
Red fishes into her pouch and pulls out another gold coin.
Who are these dolls for? And why they look like her?
He kind of looks worried for a second and looks out the window. All are welcome to the House of Blinksy.
Including people we don't speak about?
It's
He's going to have the little dolls around his.
it's important that
It's Strahd, a creepy doll collector.
it's important that all of children especially are happy because it can be hard for them.
Of course.
So, I make the toys which.
Does he have any toys that look like Saint Andrel?
He kind of like rummages through multiple ones and shakes his head, unfortunately not. So, I'll tell everything I know, and it'll be the whole truth.
Okay.
If he can stay with me for just a while, and then we can give the choice up to him who he goes with.
Fine.
I mean,
I don't care.
Okay.
sounds like a good deal.
Yes.
We're not responsible for whatever he does when he's with you. He's your
It's your
responsibility.
problem now.
Excellent.
Good. Deal.
So, since you've been in here chatting to him, like nobody's come anywhere near the doors. He takes a very small sign and just turns it round on the window. Be okay now. So, have you met the... Oh, I shouldn't tell you this, but he's just too ridiculous. Have you met the Burgermeister yet?
No.
Have you met his captain of the guard?
Yes.
He came first when he was a young boy. Maybe 10. He didn't. I thought he just wanted normal toys. Like a normal little boy. And I tried to make him very happy and welcome. But the monkey kind of lets out a little... You see, he described exactly how the doll needed to look to me. At first it was very vague. But over the years, he had more and more information, and seeing her now, it's remarkable. Have you ever met the captain of the guard before?
Yes.
He looks over to Irina. who just shakes her head. No, never. Although when we met him, I'm sure you all felt the same, but I felt like his eyes were burning into me.
Red's gonna telepathically communicate to Gabriel when Irina went all weird when Strahd was like calling her to him. That like, and the idea of her being that reincarnation.
Yeah. That's fair. But none of those models look like that, do they? They all look at her in her pure form.
This is very similar, it's hard to say.
Okay.
Because all it was is that she sort of like
Yeah.
went a bit weird looking.
Give me insight with your empathy on him, please.
14.
14? You think you've kind of got like a general grasp of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bit of an oddball.
Yeah.
As he mentions the captain of the guard, you see him kind of rubbing an area on his face, and then slightly to the side. And as you kind of look at him, you can see that there's the remains of a bruise there for sure.
Does he pay you well for these creations?
It's Blinkley's job to make everyone happy here. I keep him who shouldn't be named away. The toys for the children and adults alike. Everyone must be happy. Everyone must be happy, mustn't they?
Of course.
Mustn't they? Mustn't they? As the monkey gives out a little squawk on his shoulder and like rubs his head onto him. Even Blinksy must be happy as he kind of scratches it.
Oh.
Why does the captain of the guard want 4 of them?
Every time he just says it's not good enough. He says, Blinksy, get it right. Get it. Make it better, make it. He gives me instructions of how she must look. But seeing her now, I will make him a doll so perfect, so a likeness that he will be happy.
I send a...
Irina looks confused, worried. Ismark is just like lost for words. He's just kind of like, what the hell is going on here? But isn't stepping up to the plate to do anything about it.
So these ones here, he doesn't like those ones?
This is work in progress.
I'm going to send a message by pointing a finger at Trakul and basically saying Irina will not be safe here.
I nod.
Well, that's very interesting.
Normal Piddlewick.
I point at like 3 or 4 dolls on the shelf that are just sort of generic ones. How much for those ones?
The basic ones, 9 copper pieces each. As you kind of make that expression, like, maybe I could do a better price for you. Everyone must be happy.
We can get 2 for those little girls.
Yeah.
It works though, doesn't it? It works. If everyone's happy and everyone's smiling all of the time, he doesn't come. And Blinksy does his part, and now Blinksy's happy. As he kind of scratches this little monkey. But now even happier, look.
I'll take those 4. And
4?
I know somebody who's going to be very happy with them. They're going to make them very happy.
Gets them all ready. Is that the headless doll?
No. Because fuck that. Preferably like 2 that
the
are
bat?
just sort of generic, just dolls in dresses. If there are any that aren't weird. Has he got any dolls that aren't weird?
It's not a matter of aren't weird. It's level
Just
of
how weird.
Sure.
Get the nesting doll. That's cute.
The nesting doll, that's cute.
Yeah, that's
bat,
more expensive.
definitely.
That is 9 silver pieces.
Oh, bloody hell.
We can do it.
No, maybe not.
Just like, I don't know.
Of
They're not
variety.
like, just like 4 cute.
4 dolls.
Yes.
Why are you getting 4?
Like stuff
They're
You know.
all all as weird as the one you've got now. They've all got something odd with them.
Fine. It's fine.
Random.
I pick a mix.
I pick a mix of weird.
So you get one which has got like a missing eye, which has just been sewed up.
Cute.
I don't enjoy it.
One that looks pretty normal until you take a closer look at it, and you can see that its head is like on backwards.
Oh, brilliant.
And sewed on. The headless one, the one which comes with interchangeable heads.
Oh boy.
Fine.
Hey, we've got that one.
And
I want the bats.
Yeah, bat.
Annabelle.
Yeah.
You only have those 4 dolls, but like on repeat throughout the show. Fine.
So we have an agreement, do we?
When did the monkey come to you?
Oh. Would you like me to tell you?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'd like to know.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'm sure he won't mind.
I doubt it.
It's the reason I have no money. Have you met the storyteller?
Oh, God.
Oh,
No.
No.
So, he's staying at the inn,
is that not the...
Rictavio.
Yes, we have read about him.
I was talking with him. He said he used to be a ringmaster. And he told me that this was his monkey. But Erwin does not allow pets inside. So if he was to stay there, I got him off him when he arrived.
How much for?
Oh, I'm not showing you his greatest trick. As the monkey disappears.
I keep my eye on my wallet.
And he
Yeah.
comes running back about 20 seconds later, but now he's wearing a very small little pink tutu. And he scratches him and like pulls for something in his pocket and
Constance
gives
gives
it
a
to him.
genuine round of applause. I was very impressed by that.
Red is very confused that an animal is doing this.
It's like
In fact, Red's gonna talk to the monkey. Just like question, like, why are you doing this?
as you do, the monkey kind of like looks confused for a second and looks at you. What would you say?
What would he say? Help!
He gives you
Help me!
yeah, like he
Thank
gives
you.
you the image of safety, of being secure.
Oh. Yeah, she's sort of like a slight approve, understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, as long as the monkey's fine.
So you said his name was Piddlewickle?
Piddlewick.
He stays with me.
Yes.
For the night, and we'll come back. Again, he's your responsibility while he's with you.
If there is any damage, or you've taken apart or anything, I'll burn this shop down.
I wouldn't dare.
It's so hard.
I'm using intimidate. Like my eyes are turned black. Like I will.
I'm not part of this.
He like steps back.
What's that guy?
And you'd be 100% sure he's coming across as honest. He says, but who would make the children happy if I wasn't here?
I will find a way.
I would like to help intimidate on Gabriel.
I would quite like
Yeah.
to cast Mage Hand just to smack you.
Yeah, give me a roll.
That is a intimidator.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
Yeah, you tell me what.
I sort of lean over and down. Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 5 foot. I'm actually 6 foot now.
Okay, so I'm only a couple of inches taller than you, but so like in real life. And lean in and sort of go.
The eyes turn back to normal.
Yeah, you take a step back as you
Take a step
realise.
back.
You don't know Constance that
No.
well. It's like a
No.
week, maybe.
That's it.
You don't know what I'm a paladin of.
No.
What my oath is.
Thinks he kind of steps back. I'll take the best care of him. I promise.
We believe you.
I believe you, of course.
Feel free to tell any of the children you see that they'll be welcome to come and see him as well.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, so I give him, is it 36 copper?
No, it's 6
something
copper
like
for
that.
4, wasn't it?
No,
Six copper each.
9, 6
Yeah,
six
so
copper
it's
each.
equal ones, yeah. So it's 10 copper to a silver.
So that's 3
3
silver, 6 copper.
Yep.
I've got the silvers.
It's all
Yeah, the
good.
party kitty stuff.
He
got a
thanks
lot.
you for the money.
Are we giving him the gold coins
49
that
gold,
promised as well?
106
No.
Right.
He's got Billiwick.
Sure, he does have the gold.
Mr. Piccolo, say goodbye. As the monkey.
And then we'll I'll instruct the automaton. Stay here for tonight and enjoy, entertain.
Yep.
Is it smiling or is it looking unhappy?
It looks happy.
Good.
Right.
Leaving.
As you go to leave, you open the door and the little bell dingle dangles as well. Irina and Ismark make their way out there pretty fast. Irina looks very confused about what's just happened.
Turn over the little close sign to open as we leave.
Yep. Who is out of the room last? Yep, give me a perception, please.
Oh, that will be a crit fail. Unless... Yeah,
got
it won't
you.
be.
Is that for anyone's?
It's literally bountiful luck, allies reroll 1s or attacks, ability, saving throws.
Is that your new upgrade?
That's my
15.
upgrade.
It's pretty powerful.
15.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
It just means that I then can't use the lucky thing on my go.
Okay. You get distracted by this little doll as you're walking out. You see a ventriloquist dummy that looks freakishly similar to Strahd. And then as you kind of look back over your head, the Piddlewick kind of has like a smile on his face at first, and then as he's kind of turning back and a hand comes up, just as you're walking out, you see the smile go.
Oh, I don't like
I
it.
must say it is not our responsibility.
I want to leave. I don't enjoy that one bit.
Just reminds me of the goosebumps.
And then the door closed behind you.
It is Chucky, isn't it?
As we, I guess we're heading towards the tavern.
That would be me. Again, sorry.
Guess we're heading towards the tavern now. So we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
drop off the rug.
Yeah, we're carrying carpets and
I feel like leaving Piddlewick there was a bad idea. Because
Why is that?
Why is that?
now he has a construct that he can look into and make a 2-foot version of Irina automated.
I don't think he'd be able to replicate something like that. He doesn't seem very good. I'm going to fix those toys, by the way. I don't think we should give those to the children.
Monsters, they want
Those toys. I think he's going to take some information from Piddlewick and make something that.
I don't think he's good enough to do something that is that complex.
Also, I don't think Irina's safe here.
I agree with that. I agree that we should leave here soon.
Soon as possible.
Abby?
Yeah.
Abby.
Abby.
Stop by the... We need to... It would be nice to help the priest, though.
Yeah.
I think we should spend the night in the chapel.
Yeah.
Well, we need to go back to the Vastani as well.
It's maybe about 3 or 4 o'clock at the moment now.
So I say we.
Have we gone back to the
Pop
inn
by
yet?
the
Check the
inn.
messages.
And check on Brian.
Check on Brian, yeah.
Let's go to the inn first. Drop off the rug.
Check for messages.
Check the messages. Then we have to go see the Vastani because I don't think they'd be happy if we didn't come back this evening,
Yeah.
just in case Damien's there.
What are we gonna? What's the plan for dealing with her?
Red just looks and cracks knuckles.
As long as
My
they
eyes will
don't.
turn black.
Okay. You think the others won't protect her? Okay.
No.
I think it's worth seeing what she knows first.
Okay.
Sorry?
The lady who betrayed us and threw us off the carriage.
Damia?
Yeah. And then back to the chapel, rest, and then we leave before this escapade of festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to be
do want-
quick because the gates close
Red's
at dark.
already started. Red's already started plodding off to the inn.
Gates
Yeah.
close at night.
And see if it's all right to leave Brian there.
Ismark comes over. I don't think that I can. Although it pains me to do this, you've proven yourselves strong and true of heart. And I've taken on board what you've said. The people of the village need me. And I've left them alone for long enough.
You're going to go back by yourself, are you?
I'll travel back.
By
On your
yourself?
own.
I advise you to hire guards if you're going to go back.
Maybe.
Not
I have some
maybe.
coin left.
Or even a horse
Yes.
from the letter date.
Maybe I could hire guards and ask them to relocate. To come to the village.
That would be a very good idea.
You have enough rooms in your house to put them up as a garrison for them?
Yes.
A big house.
And I expect there's people who'll be glad to see the last of the festivals.
Yes. Perhaps we can help you find people who will be trustworthy. You're not the best judge of character.
Maybe even Lars. Lars seems to hold himself highly.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
But when we have to talk to the Burgermeister for that.
The inn master might know some people as well who would be willing to guard for money. We can ask him to pass the word around. Okay, in first.
Irina,
first.
are you happy to go with these people? She kind of looks over. Yes, brother. You have helped me greatly, and I understand the risks that you have taken to yourself. And I understand.
You need to take good care of your village.
What are we going to do about Brian?
Be strong.
Leave him here with
I can
the
take him back
again.
with me.
You can take
Or
him
does he
back,
go back?
but
Oh, I should
that's
know
where his
because he,
family are who sold him to the hags for pasties. What are you going to do about them?
they do not get their son back. It's the Burgermeister. The Burgermeister can take him straight.
Maybe he can stay with me if he wants.
There we go.
As I said, father was always one to take in orphans when possible. It's a way, as you saw from the Father Lucian here. It's important to look after.
We'll see what he wants to do as well.
I would not want to take him any further on our journey.
I'm not taking the small
Not,
kid with us.
not a good idea, but we can see what he wants to do. Perhaps introduce him to the priest here and see.
Anyway, to the inn.
To the inn, indeed.
I really do appreciate, like I said, everything you've done for me. And my sister.
You're most welcome. Hopefully you become a stronger man from this.
You make your way back across to the inn. Anyone remember the name of the
Blue
inn?
Water Inn.
Well done.
Yeah.
Smart's gonna die now, isn't he?
Oh, damn it.
I don't want to give him Brian. I don't trust him with Brian.
Nobody is worthy of Brian.
As you make your way towards it, you can't help but be filled with a little bit of warmth. It's probably like the first place you felt genuinely secure and safe. Maybe a little bit in the temple, but here there's something about this inn. It's been warm, it's been dry. As you make your way in, you can hear the hustle and bustle of a few people in there already. The owner of the inn, Erwin, this about 5'11", darker skin, black long beard, grey streaks down, grey across the hair, black coming down, wearing nice clothes with a mixture of leather bits in it, gloves, variety of nice, rich, deep colours. He sees you and a genuine, deep, warm smile comes across his face. I heard of the gates. Good. Make yourselves at home.
Always happy to help.
We won't be staying long, but we do have something that needs to be stored here in one of the rooms that we rented.
Boys, Brom, Bray, Brian. As you hear the pitter-patter of feet as they all kind of come running round and look round, you can see these distinctive three boys, one with the almost silvery grey hair now, short at the side and long over the top, the more emotional older one with the black hair with the small fringe in the cloak, and then Brian having the time of his fucking life. He kind of sees you and comes running over and we're running in the street. We should have seen it. And then he was like, and we were like, no, never catch us. We were running and then there's a monkey.
A monkey?
Oh, jeez.
A monkey?
The monkey. And then Ricardo came, and then I thought we was going to fall over, but it wasn't falling over. And he told us this story about a dragon. A dragon? Have you ever heard of a dragon?
we look at Jacob.
Oh, he was silver, and he was proud, and he was strong, and he turned into a man. A dragon turned into a man, would you believe it? Oh.
Look at you.
Aaron comes over and with a deep, genuine laugh. There, boy, there'll be more time for play later. Come, you look famished. He pulls you over to the table near the fireplace. Red, is it? He brings you over various meats and food, but brings you over in something on a separate plate.
Oh.
And puts it down in front of you with a big, genuine smile.
She picks it up and sniffs it.
I asked them to get this specially.
What does it smell of?
Boar.
Oh. Yeah, she just
So it's harder
goes to town
and
on
rarer.
it. Not even, yeah, goes to town on it.
But do not completely fill your appetites now. For I have a message.
Well,
We're no longer excited anymore. Well,
the Burgermeister.
I imagine.
Vargas heard that you were here.
Oh, you might
Oh,
have.
lovely.
Sorry, Burgermeister Vargas Vallakovich heard you were here. And has requested you pay him a visit. This evening, no
I
less.
thought it might be.
At night? For dinner?
Indeed.
We're going to have a lot of food today.
Looks like we're staying an extra night then.
Well, we were going to be staying here for tonight at least.
well, we would need to go back to the.
Understanding.
Understanding.
We'll go for an early dinner there and a late dinner.
Give me a perception with your awareness. With your kind of empathy, I'm going to just assume that you pick up on a lot of people, and then I'll give you insight into them.
Okay.
Is that your new one?
Yes.
18, 19, 22 on perception.
I like that on the beauty. Just read people really well.
To some people, and you could understand why, Erwin seems overly, too nice. But it just seems so genuine coming from him. He's not asking for anything extraordinarily in return that you've seen from other traders who are charging extortionate prices. He just seems overly friendly and nice and genuine.
Super nice.
He's just like me in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nothing like him. You, as he kind of comes and talks to you, it's a face you've seen before a couple of times, and you recognise him for a third time in the inn now. as he sits by himself. He's pretty good, but you're pretty sure he's listening in to you. Pretty standardish man. No crazy features on him. His hair pretty plain, his face hard to spot out of the crowd. His clothes pretty dull with little bits of colour in them. You wouldn't think he is one of these dolls that they talk about and you've seen around. But you've definitely spotted him a few times around. As two younger men, walk in. Maybe low 20s, both of them. From looking at them, you would assume brothers. Reasonably well built, as they both kind of walk in and straight to the bar, and then just, Owen! My apologies. Yes, Master Nikolai. Yes, Master Karl. What can I get the Brothers Watcher today? As he makes his way over to get them drinks. The meal is nice. It is quite filling. The bar has got a bustle. You take maybe half an hour to eat and just kind of chill out for a second, enjoying the warmth and the hospitality of here. After your meal, Owen comes over again. His wife now behind the bar. The busiest part of it seems busy. The two younger gentlemen seem to be drinking pretty solid, good rate. I would hate to ask this of you, but my choices seem very limited now.
Okay.
Do not feel that you have to say yes, and I mean that.
Excuse me.
Have you heard of the Wizards of Wine?
Yes.
The Wizards Vineyard.
Yes.
Like clockwork, their deliveries come through. But I have half a barrel left of number 3, grape smash, and very little else. Something must be wrong.
I take it you rely heavily on their supplies.
Very. The wine in Barovia helps people forget their troubles. Does not fix them, and I do not pretend that it does. And some take to it too heavily and disappear at the bottom of the bottles. But I try my best to make sure that does not happen. So now, the vineyard is to the west. Sorry, I have to remember, never eat straight a week. To the west from here.
Well, we were planning to go towards the Abbey
Yeah, then
in the next day or two.
it is not too far from the Abbey, it is south from it.
I believe we would be able to have a look.
If you
In the
could, I would
future?
be in your debt.
I cannot guarantee that we will get to it either in the next couple of days, but as soon as we can.
You would always be welcome here. Not that you are not already.
Oh, we would be happy to help you out.
Do you have a storeroom where we could store some things on it before we go travelling? At that
course.
distance? We have a large rug that we should be carrying around.
Yeah. I have it propped up next to me, you're just like kind of standing there, teepeed.
Payment for services rendered.
Very well. Of course.
And do you have enough drink for until the festival, or do you need it done by the festival?
The way these boys are drinking, probably not.
How far is it, journey-wise?
There's maybe under a day hard travel to the Abbey, and then not too far from the Abbey.
The festival's in 2 days, isn't it? So we're not going to get there and back.
No, we can get there.
Get
and back.
there.
It's been a while since I've travelled that way.
Yeah.
Give me an insight on him.
Okay.
Who else has got good insight? You're going to need a very high.
Yeah.
23.
That is
When he said
14 as well.
it has been a while since I've travelled that way, he is hiding something.
Have you not travelled with the shipments at all to check on what the situation was?
As you kind of say that, and he kind of pauses for a second, and it's the first time you've ever seen him like taken back a little bit. I must go. Have a think on it. You do not need to answer now, but I would appreciate it.
We'd be willing to check it out, but as I said, I do not believe we'd be able to get there and back before the festival. As you know, time is too short, too late to leave now, and tomorrow we would only get there at best.
I see. No, of course, that makes sense. After the festival.
Okay.
Maybe you just need to tell those boys to slow down.
Yes, maybe. You clearly do not know the Watcher. He excuses himself. That's a good place to leave it.
Yeah.
That's a nice place.
We've got all our options ahead of us.
Yeah, I've just written them all down.
Oh.
We've got Abby, Bones, Vastani, Burgermeister, Dolls, Wizards Watch.
We have got
We have to,
to do
we have
this.
to do the Burgermeister straight away next.
Yeah. Well, we need to go Burgermeister's with dinner tonight.
I've
Yeah.
put
And we still got
Vastani,
to
Vastani
as well.
Burgermeister,
Because we've got to
Check
be able
up
to
on
get
the
back
doll.
in.
Yeah.
Abby, Wizards One, and I put question mark next to the Bones.
I'll just see if anyone is active in chat, because a lot of the time nobody is. Although we've got amazing 29 people watching, and I think somebody...
37, my phone says. Oh, no, it doesn't know it's going down. That's why 23.
Yeah,
At some point.
I think someone donated something to us.
Really?
I don't know how to... Someone gave us some points or
There's a
something.
terrifying doll. Is that what they've donated?
They donated a horrible Justice doll.
Live tomorrow.
The chat room just has Johnny saying, yeah.
No, someone asked if anybody's in chat, so I put yeah.
Oh.
you in chat? Yeah.
Yeah.
I came to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Find the phone app for Twitch, not that
No,
clear.
I don't think it is great.
I couldn't stop my phone from converting it into the app.
Is that Ainsley Harriet?
Anyway, thank you for watching those who watched.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. It was a long haul.
Hold on, how do I get in? How do I...
The dog.
Are we playing next Tuesday?
Can't Tuesday.
I think I've got parents' evening on Tuesday.
Okay.
Hang on.
We can discuss and then announce.
We shall poll again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monday
So
would be
bye,
a lot
everyone.
better for everyone.
More than likely a Wednesday, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
We'll
Can
see.
do
Probably
whenever
next
next week.
Wednesday then if you've got parents' evening.
Yes,
You can
okay.
request.
We'll see what happens. So
Lovely.
bye for
Okay,
now,
cheers,
I
watching
guess.
everyone.
Thank you for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.